Need it.
Are you going live now?
Hey everyone, we are gonna see if anybody's around to do this live video. So we're gonna give it a few minutes while we're trying to set up, see how it goes. Give me a thumbs up if anybody's there, and so I can see if we can see comments. Hopefully they work. They don't always work. I'm trying to make sure we can see. The lighting's not all jacking up. Okay, here's my Janome. Swipe left. Maybe that's the other left. Okay, so I think that's gonna work for lighting. Let's see if I turn this on, if it's any better. I'm not sure that's any better. So, okay, we'll give it a few minutes and see if anybody's coming around. I've done some prep work on the Snazzy. I have all the interfacing is cut out, and what is fused, or what needs to be fused prior to starting sewing, is already fused. I do use my heat press. Ta-da! I have my heat press. It's a pretty cool machine. We're going through some issues right now with our electrical. They have to come fix it because I tripped the breaker quite a bit. It's a new build. So, hi everybody. Give me a thumbs up if you can, so I can see if the comments are working. Leave a comment. Do some so I know if it's working or not. I'm Mandy. I'm excited to be here and doing this Snazzy video. It is my favorite purse design. It's my husband's favorite one too, so it's pretty cool. We need to go over here. Can you find it? Are there comments?
No, not in the video.
Okay, because I don't see any, but I see that there's people viewing. Oh, so you're not one of them? Okay. So, I don't know what time it is. And I said 6-ish. Let me move my trash can out the way. I do have some helpers. Oscar, he's my studio cat. And then my dogs are somewhere else. And then, let's flip this around. Here's Steven, my husband. And he's going to be a technical helper. Hopefully. Okay. So I have, let's see if this works. I'm going to, since we can't read this, I've got to change it around.
There is a 10-second delay between what you're doing and what's going on.
There, we can read it. Okay. Can you, I need this up here. I'm trying to get it figured out, situated, so we can actually, let's do this way so I can see. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we need. This is our prep work for the Snazzy. And this is my one that I've had for 2 years. And it is, getting worn. So it's clearly time for me to make some more. But I wanted to show, dimensions don't always give you the best. Let's see, can you see in there? This is how big this bag is. But it doesn't look that huge. It's got, pockets everywhere. I do make an extra interior pocket, and that's where I flip my bag through. So, I mean, it's an awesome bag. I muted it. You don't need sound. So, I have all of my, stop whining, Sasha. I have my directions. We always need those. I have, when I do bags, I cut out my pattern pieces onto, this is, what is it, poster board. So it's kind of sturdy. And then I know what pieces I need. So I've got that. My strap pieces, which I may not do those today. Depends on how late we're going. Got my 2 rectangle rings. They are 1.5 inches, I believe. Yep, 1.5 inches rectangle rings. I have my slider somewhere. If I have to do it. Hi Leslie, hi Charity, thanks for joining us. So I have, in a post I made earlier, I'm dropping everything, I said that I do 2 things different. I always put a key leash in things, unless I forget. So I've got my key leash prepped, and it's just a scrap. And I fold it in half, and then fold it in half again to make it 1/4 the width. And the end, I fold up so it's finished. Can you see that? So then I'll sew that still. And I just use a little clip. You know, keys are so easy to lose, so I always put those in. And then I got my zipper pieces. I'm using zipper by the yard, so I don't have any ends. We'll see how it goes because I haven't used zipper by the yard much. This is the second change I make. Jeannie, I always lose keys, so I have to put them in everything. And then I make wrist straps to, so that they are even harder to lose. Okay, this is my second change I make. It is the zipper pouch, or the zipper pocket that I put in the lining wall, so that it is, I leave the bottom open, and these are just 8.5 inch-ish squares, whatever is available. I just, whatever. When I do gifts, I normally put the zipper pockets as secret fabrics, so they're normally something special in them. They're lots of fun. So when I do a zipper pocket, I don't like to see the seam. In this one you can see it, and I have since changed. I don't like to see that, the raw tape. So I've since changed how I do them. Let me see if this one, sometimes I forget. Okay. I've since changed how I do them, and now they're all like this. This is just a tote bag. Where's that zipper? There it is. So you can't see any zipper tape. So I'll show you how to do that. And so all I need is I need my zipper, I need my pieces, and then I take a scrap piece of interfacing that is about as long as my zipper, and I think this one's 2.5 inches wide. This is 2 inches wide, so it's just, long enough that I think 2 inches is about the width I use. So I'll put that to the side. I have prepped 3 pieces. The first step, let me see. When we go through the directions, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing the straps yet. Okay. When you get to step 4, you make the strap brackets. I've already done that because I was going to try and get all of these 4 finished up and start a new one, but I didn't because life happens. So these are simply right sides together, so a 1/4 inch seam, flip them, top stitch, and then sew your 3 lines down the center, and you get some extra dog hair. I drew on it with a pen. They're not the straightest lines, but nobody's going to notice that. Normally I get my lines straighter.
Good.
I am using denim. It's not a heavy denim. It's probably a 4 ounce, maybe. I don't think it's any heavier than that. And then I've got quilting cotton on the other side. It's maybe from Hobby Lobby. I don't know. So I've got those two done. And then I have my pockets. The inside pockets. What were they? Yeah, the ones you just put on the side. So this is one. I haven't gone through. I've just top stitched the top after I flipped it. So I've still got a hole. So, I mean, these are, you know, I figured I'd do a little bit of prep work. Leslie, there's dogs everywhere. We've got a German Shepherd and an Australian Shepherd and 3 cats because my oldest daughter is cat crazy. So hair ends up everywhere. And the best thing to take it off is like the tape, the transfer tape that you use. Yeah. Yeah, Steven's texting from it. Okay, so that's what I've prepped. Just these two. And they're ready to be installed once it's time. And, let's see. I'm going to put, I have my pens. I don't really use a whole lot of pens. But I use these a whole lot. Judith, they're the best dogs. I think I like them more than my Aussie, and I love my Aussie. Wonder Clips-ish, you know, generic brand from Amazon. And then sometimes I use these bigger clips. I like to use them to hold them together. And then in one of the other groups, I learned to use these. They're little hair clips. So I mostly use these to clip my pages so that I don't get lost. They work fantastic for that. And I keep everything in jars. Okay. I also use Wonder Tape for the zippers. So this is just the washable wash away one. Let me make sure I've got more. Yeah. I've got more. Alright, what time is it, babe?
5 after.
Okay.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I've got plenty of Wonder Tape. I can put these aside because I don't need those right now. And I'm going to put my straps aside because I'm not doing those first. Normally I do, but, you know, straps are fairly simple, so. Okay. I think I have everything. We're going to go over the sewing machine. I do sew in an industrial. For parts of it, I have a Sailrite 111. It's amazing because I don't want to kill my Janome. But this is a bag you can do 100% on a domestic, no problem. I've done them before. So, hold on while we swap you around. And if I need to change things, let me know, please, and we'll try to work it out.
Oh, you're using the Janome?
Yeah. Okay. Come over here. 100-pound poodle, pit, and 2 pugs. Oh my goodness, you've got a house full of dogs. That's awesome. Okay, can you see? Let me try to make sure I'm not all up in the way. So I have, when I'm doing this top stitching, I do have my, you know, I have this Janome 7700. And it has the walking foot integrated into it. It is amazing. I upgraded from a little baby brother machine. And this is just amazing. So I'm going to put my stitch length on about a 2.8. You know, it doesn't really matter. And this I'm just stitching close to the edge. And sometimes it doesn't like to get started. So I just use my little scissors and guide it. Can you hand me the lid that goes to these? So I'm going to sew down. You don't have to put all that stuff, honey. I'm going to sew down the sides. Stuff set up. Is that better? Can you see that better? Grab this. I want to get one of those cool stilettos that has the seam ripper on one side, because we all know that the seam ripper is your best friend. So I just sew down the end, and we're going to go back up. And I just want to give it a little start. Huh?
What is it you're sewing right now?
This is the key fob, or the key leash. Okay. What? Does it look okay? Yeah. Okay. So then we have our strap. This is just the key leash. I totally think I need to get a stiletto. I see them all the time made from the people that make the pins, and they make them with the key fob or the stiletto on one side and the seam ripper on the other. I want one. Hint, hint, Steven. Okay. So I take my little clippy. Where is it? There it is. It doesn't really matter what size as long as it fits on. And sometimes I kind of got to shove it on. So I feed it down to the end. I fold over and see what side I like better. It doesn't, you know, this is not something that's super important. Sometimes I'll put a, what are those things called? A rivet in it. But, okay, so I just fold it over. And then I'm going to sew a little stitch over it. And since I've got my walking foot on here, I'm going to have a fairly big seam allowance. This is when I don't like my walking foot. Normally I do this on the other machine because it kind of does a little easier. I clean up my... This bag will probably end up being a gift for somebody. You know, gotta get going on Christmas gifts. Okay, so key leash is done. It'll be set aside until we get to, you know, the next step. Alright, so let's pull out our directions. Okay. So we are on to step 5 with the exterior pockets. We're going to take our pocket pieces. Alright, we've got our interfaced with SF101 front and back pocket. Uninterfaced with a little fuzz lining for the exterior pockets. I don't really pin this. I make sure everything's face up most of the time, or else I have to, you know, meet my trusty friend, the seam ripper. We're going to stitch, yeah, we do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we stitch top and bottom. So make sure it's all lined up. You know, sometimes things shrink up a little bit, so. I will clip this time, but I don't often. And I just put a couple in. Alright, so there's one. And then at this point, it really doesn't matter which top and bottom is. But I typically like to find one. It's kind of a crazy print, but I think that flower faces up, so. And then these are butterflies, so they go up. This was kind of a hard one for me to pick fabrics for. There we go. So we'll put a couple clips in. And this pattern is a 1/4 inch seam allowance through most of it. This is still 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let me get my iron heating up. I'm going to need to iron right after this. Alright, 1/4 inch seam allowance. It doesn't really matter what side I go from since I've got the walking foot. Let's see, I'm getting stuck.
This is the ChrisW design pattern, right?
Yes. It's the Snazzy Slouch from the group. It's amazingly well written. It's awesome. I'm going to have to fix that in a minute.
Right, it's
Yeah. There's a link for this pattern that is 20% off through Sunday, or a coupon code. I don't remember what the coupon code is though. Sometimes this machine does like to eat the fabric at first, so I like to chain it. And if it's not able to be seen well, let me know, and I'll try to adjust. See, it kind of eats it, so I might have to, it eats it a little bit. I don't really, it'll be okay. Okay, so we're going to flip it around. Let's pull it out and see if we can get it knocked in. There we go.
How do you gauge your seam allowance? The whole pattern's a 1/4 inch seam allowance, right?
Yeah, Amy, so I know where a 1/4 inch hits on my foot, and let me see if I can bring it in. Right here, when I have it centered, is about a 1/4 inch. Right now I'm a little bit over it, but it's okay because it's just a hair. I do have a 1/4 inch foot, but I kind of go by spots. So on my other machine too, I just try to stay so it's lined up in a certain spot. When I was just starting out, I would put a piece of painter's tape so that I knew exactly where my seam allowance was. No, I don't think that I think that kind of hurts a little bit. Yeah, I use it for quilting straight lines too, Mary. Painter's tape is kind of amazing. My kids grab it and use it for everything. Okay, so we've got our pieces here.
Hello from Philadelphia.
Hello, Donna. Thanks for joining us. All right, we're going to turn around a little bit. I've got my little iron set up here. And we need to flip it. So this part's fairly easy, and I'm going to show you my little trick to it. I mean, obviously, flipping it is pretty easy. I think it's okay. Flipping it's easy, but then you want to make sure that those seams are nice and creased. So I take it and set it down like this. And then I'm going to press my fabric away from this. Can you see it? Okay. So I'm going to do it left-handed. We're going to see if I can do this. Am I on? No. Alright. My iron didn't really heat up right. Let my iron heat up. Hi, Suzanne. Mary, you're in Maine. So we went to York Beach in Maine. My brother used to live up in New Hampshire. And it's so pretty up there. We're in Florida now. It's hot, but we like where we live. All right, this little iron. So my circuits aren't happy with me right now. Steven's got to go fix it. I just tripped my breaker with a little 1200 watt. So I may not be ironing. I may just be creasing. But okay, so I press it away. And then I can do a little seam. I might have to run the extension cord to be able to press it. This is under warranty work. Huh, we have power again. This ticks me off so much. So then I'm going to clip them just to keep it straight. And it looks like I will not be ironing today, which is part of the reason I don't have these done. So I'm going to kind of just let me move that out of the way. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. It works just as well sometimes. Okay, I have this handy dandy little tool. It is called a finger presser. So I'm just going to do it this way instead. And so I'm just going to press my seams to kind of open them up. Amy, my iron station is pretty awesome. However, I can't iron because of it trips a breaker almost instantly sometimes. Like so they've been out 3 times. They told me the second time I may not be able to iron in this room, and I said that's not okay. But I'll give you a little tour real quick. There's my real ironing station. That's pretty fun. It's pretty huge. Let me flip it back around. Okay. So, just straighten things out. I am just top stitching the top though now. So I'm only going to do up here. Make sure you pick the top. A little And this thing works awesome too for fabrics you can't iron, like vinyl or... I'm not sure if you can iron cork. I haven't done with cork. I like sewing with cottons. I think it's really cool to get all the cool colors. All right. And I don't like vinyl. I do some of it, but I have some. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Okay, so this is our top because the butterflies go up. Let's make sure we get that seam. And we can take our little presser again. You know, the plus side of using this is you don't burn your fingers. This tool, it's called a, I think it's a clover, and it's called a finger presser, and it's got a little flat, like, I've heard cork is really good to work with. I like cork better than vinyl. So it's even got this little indent for your finger. Really cool. I haven't ventured into cork. It's expensive. I have stayed away from it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just press that too. And just flip it so that it's there. Now, I am going to take this, or I'm going to top stitch it on my industrial, not because it's thick, but because I have thicker thread. And I like thicker thread for top stitching. So, here's Sally, my cellrate. She's pretty awesome. I hope you can see. And she's on. Make sure I do the top. And I've got it at about a 4 top stitch. Yeah, it's really expensive. And there's so many people doing cork now. So I just haven't really. Now this machine actually has, I bought a plate for it that has your markings on it. So it actually, you don't have to put tape. Pretty cool. Probably should have checked my tension first. And people that say you can't use a compound walking foot on thin fabrics, it's all in how you have it set up, because this is lightly interfaced on one layer and no interfacing on the other. And I'll show you how beautiful it switches. Slice up top. My grandmother loves faffs. I wish I'd have been able to get one, but they were like double the price of the Genomes. And I love my Genome. And then this guy, or girl, Jane. No, this is Sally. A lot cheaper than my Genome. I always assumed that they would be more expensive because they're, you know, heavier duty. But so, I don't know if you can see this. Let's see, where's the camera? There's your stitching. So, I mean, it does, you know, you don't have to have, I didn't want to get the standard, you know, industrial straight stitch machine because my Janome can do everything it can do. Alright, so our pockets are done. Now let's see what the next step is. There are pockets. Alright, we're doing the zipper. This is going to be fun. Alright, we need to trim it to 19 inches long. Let's come over here. Sorry for the movements. Trying to get you.
There you go.
Alright. So we need our zipper. Put that over here. And we need to trim it to 19 inches. I've got my scissors over here.
It says, well, FAF was free other than paying for servicing. My friend's mother died and she doesn't, so she gave it to me.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about your friend's mother, but that's a pretty awesome gift. So a little trick that I like to do with the zippers is I like to take them off, the zipper pulls off, and put them on. Like I cut it in and then I run them off the edge. And then I put them back on so that I'm dealing with a closed zipper. Alright, we're going to do zipper strips. Zipper strips. I'll set these out of the way for now. Are these the same length? No. Alright, I'm going to stitch these real quick. Okay, so I have a zipper. Hold on. So I have a zipper, a regular zipper, and I like to, you know, when you trim it down, you cut the end off. And then you'd have this open end at the other end. I like to take it all the way off. And then put my zipper back on. And I should have done that the other way. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so I have my zipper. I'm going to cut the zipper off, the zipper head off, and then take my head off. So now I just have a zipper tape. It's kind of just like you would get it by the yard. And I open it up. You want to put the side in first, that is highest, and you just stick it on. It's really quite easy once you get the hang of it. So then you have a double closed in zipper. So you don't have to deal with making sure it's even at the other end and all that fun stuff. It's really simple to work with then. And then you just open it up, you know, as you're applying the zipper, and you can still do that. So, okay, so I got this. I'm going to stitch just a little zigzag back and forth, and then I'll be right back. It is an awesome trick. I'll be right back. I'm just doing a zigzag stitch. I'm doing as small as I can lengthwise and as big as I can widthwise. Now I'm doing it at both ends. And the pattern says about a 1/4 inch from the end. I may have gotten that. I don't know. Okay. Let me put it back before I forget about it.
Said, that's a great tip. You make it look easy.
It goes on fairly easy. Okay, we have our zipper strips. We have lining zipper strips, exterior zipper strips, and our 19-inch zipper. We're going to use zipper tape, or zipper, you know, wonder tape. So I'm just going to take it and run it. Actually, I'm going to do it on here. It doesn't really matter. You know, you can play with it and see which side you want. It kind of looks like a face. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Okay, so I'm going to run the tape here and here, all the way down. And this tape will not gum up your needle. I have the double-sided tape from Wawak, and it gums up my industrial machine needle like nobody's business, and then I get skipped stitches. So I don't use it if it's going to get in the way. I do have different scissors for my tape. And I just put that on the other side. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes that might stick. Okay, put that aside. Let's do this one. This tape, this is expensive tape, so I always buy it when it's on, when I have a coupon, and it's on sale typically. So like if I have a total purchase off, I normally buy it then. But this particular roll is kind of funky. This is the only one I've had problems with. So those are my exteriors, and then I need to do my lining ones too, so they're ready. And let's see, let me make sure. So I'm going to do this side, the bottoms, this side of both of them. So my butterflies are facing, flying towards the zipper. And I'm not sure that there's a right or a wrong way. That one was empty. Alright. I'll put this on. And this stuff was like, I swear, the best stuff ever invented. Maybe not ever, but it's pretty cool stuff. And just make sure it's kind of pressed down fairly good. It will go away with water. And I know some people use just regular Elmer's glue, like the white glue. I haven't tried that. I have used glue sticks, and they seem to work well, but they're messy. Plus, my 7-year-old runs off with them. So now we are going to take our zipper. So there's going to be a 1/2 inch of zipper overhang on each end. And you can mark it if you want to. I use my, it makes sewing zippers so much easier. It is the Wonder Tape. I think it's Clover brand. I get it from Joann's. It is double-sided, wash away, sticky tape. It does not gum up your needles. This is the Wallach kind. What are you eating? This is the 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch Wallach kind. And it's kind of a leather tape. It will gum my needle up in a heartbeat on the industrial. So I don't use it much. Okay, so I'm going to take my piece.
I have to look up a translation for that one.
For what?
Miss Brunishkine.
Oh, I don't know, yeah. Right, so then you take your, because it goes on with the, oh, I put it on the wrong side. Dang. See, y'all get to see the whole live thing and me mess up. Because you go right sides together. So let's see if I can reuse this. Right sides together. That's the worst I mess up. Hey, we're doing pretty good. Alright, let's flip this one around. That's the first time I've ever done that one. Normally I do put it on the zipper tape, but then I really can't mess it up. Alright, let's try these two before it... So, it's a good thing it's repositionable, kind of. Now we'll see truly how repositionable it is when, if I can get the paper off without picking up the tape. Alright, see, this one's not going to go. I'm just going to put a new one onto that one. Okay, let's try this again. We've got 1/2 inch, and I just line it up on my mat. Make sure it's pressed down pretty good. And then you just pull your tape off, your paper. So this is the paper that protects it, and then you've still got the sticky on it. Right sides together at the top. And just line it up with that, the edge of the zipper tape. So, and I like to go through and smush it really good. It might be the same thing. If y'all have Clover over there, it might be it. Okay, so, and I always do front and back together. Using the sticky tape, it makes it so that it doesn't really move.
And Leslie said in the UK she gets prime 1/4 inch double-sided tape.
Is that the same thing probably, maybe? I don't know. So just line up your lining fabric. Make sure you have it on the right side of the zipper. And then I smush it together. So then you don't have to worry about it coming undone. I mean, it's stuck on there. I have found that you can't leave it on for a really long time. It'll start losing some of its tackiness. All right, let's come back over here. Try to get this fixed. Uh-oh, Mary, I'm glad you got back on. Yeah, sometimes we have internet issues, big time. I used to live out where we had satellite internet. I know there's some people in the group that do that. So I'm going to change to a zipper foot. It doesn't take long, but it does since it's a this kind. I've got to take off my foot. It's not a long change by any means. Okay. And I'm going to put my stitch length at, we'll go with a 2.8. Okay, so we're going to start, and I like to start just a little bit in so that I can backstitch. And I like to stitch from this side so that I have that to go by. Let me see something first before I tell you I'm wrong. 3/8 inch seam. Okay. Pretty sure I have it right. So for the zipper, we're doing a 3/8 since I'm using a number 5, which is the handbag width. I am using a 3/8 inch seam, and I get my handy dandy little seam gauge. I've got a bunch of cool things. Colleen, I am using the industrial machine for parts of it. I used it for the top stitching already, but I will be using it. Okay, so as long as I run my zipper foot along there, I'll be good. Yep. Okay. I'll use it in just a minute. So, you know, when you get to your zipper foot or your zipper, just go around it, and since it's taped, I just try to go a little bit slower. And if it starts bunching up a little bit on me, sometimes I like to put a little bit of pressure on it. Can you see? I kind of feel like that might have been a little bit too close though. Yeah. Okay, so I've got like a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're going to go with a 1/2 inch seam allowance on this one. And it'll be okay. So I pull my, I just take it and pull it away to kind of open that seam up. And then I'm going to top stitch it. And I top stitch everything on the industrial because it has the thicker threads. Where's my little, okay. So my finger presser again, since my iron is going to blow my circuit and we're not playing that game today. I just You know, make sure you keep your zipper out of the way.
It's like an iron, but not iron.
Yeah, I mean, it does a good job. So we're going to pull that open. So for anybody that's wondering how there's comments showing up for my name, my husband Steven is over on the computer trying to type some informations back. I am not typing it. He is behind the computer over there, helping me out while he's playing his little game too. Alright, so I've got it, hi Kathy. Alright, I've got it pressed away. Where is that? And I'm going to take it over behind me and do a tap stitch. And then we'll do the other side. Ta-da! Alright. Now, when I stitch with this machine, I do a roughly 1/8 inch seam allowance. And this center foot is roughly an 1/8 inch seam allowance. So I just go off of that. Works perfect. Most of the time. You know, sometimes it doesn't. So I just put my foot down. And I still continue to make sure that seam or that fabric is pulled away. I actually find that the Clover finger press, there's Sally, it is! She's doing a beautiful job today. Some days she doesn't like to work. And this machine, like, so, hold on. Let me get this finished. So people, you know, when you talk about the Sailrite, they automatically think it's the little machine that does the, you know, the little blue one and all that stuff. But this one is, it's amazing. And I like to not have much zipper tape showing. So can we see this? As long as it opens, I'm good. And you just want to make sure your, let's see. You want to make sure your lining is pulled out of the way well when you go to top stitch. So let's do the other side. Now that I already have it taped. I'm going to spin you around. Sorry if I make you dizzy. Alright, right sides together. And like, sometimes I just take this and leave this off. But since I did the little stitching, I can't do that. So sometimes I'll leave it off because that little bump sometimes messes you up. So, pull the tape off. So what's everybody doing on this exciting Friday night? I guess it's Saturday morning in some places. We are kid-free. My kids, I have a 5-year-old and 7-year-old girls, and they are at Graham Camp in Virginia, and we go pick them up next weekend, but they're having a blast. They're visiting my mom and my grandparents. So it's really cool. So make sure you line those up and then keep it. I can get it lined up down here very well. There we go. So the good thing about this tape too is it is pretty repositionable. You just gotta take your time. There. Sometimes if you try from the other end, it works. This one might not like me since I had to redo it. There it goes. So here's one helper. That's my Australian Shepherd. She likes to try to get under my sewing machine.
Australian that dog.
She's 10. She's been in restriction. She's had a little neck problem. I don't know where the other one is. And I'm surprised the cats aren't in here.
Oscar's in about Amy.
Oh, he is? Bring him over here. He wants to be on the movie. There we go. Alright, so we are ready to rock and roll. Back with this seam. And I'm going to move this over just a little bit so I don't get quite as... No, I'm going to leave it where it was. Because I like it like that.
Connie's supposed to be 15 in August.
15? Wow. She'll be 10 and, you know, I mean... she's my shadow. Our German Shepherd is only a year and a half. And she keeps us on her toes. I had to make a dog diaper. That was pretty interesting. She's not fixed yet. And it was pretty cool. Helps if your foot's down. It's down. So these machines think they're smarter than you, and a lot of times they are. And it won't sew if you try to push the foot. One of my favorite features, though, is the automatic thread cutter. Alright, we're going to open the seam up. And I like to give them nice pulls. And this is some of the zipper tape I ordered from AliExpress last year. And
Lay on the sewing machine though.
This one, the Aussie, she laid on my industrial machine during a storm one day, during the sewing puzzle, or during a storm. And she got kicked out. I was like, that's not safe. The other one doesn't really, she just lays in the way, like when you try to move. Alright, so we are pressing them open with this cool, and I got it on Amazon for y'all Amazon lovers. This thing, Amazon. Alright, back to Sally. I do name my machines. Uh-oh, I'm wrapped up. There we go. I don't know if you can see it. I might see if I can get you a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, unless you want to move it back a little bit.
Hold on. Okay, let me... see. Is that better?
Yeah, give me 2 minutes.
I can't see with that in my face. There.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so we're going to stitch along. There's the zipper. And then this foot, the actual walking one, kind of just marches along my zipper. Make sure I've got everything out the way. Sorry if my hand's in the way. And the only reason I'm using this machine is because I have the thicker thread sticking. And I used a jeans thread over here. It's just, I think it's a Tex 60. And I just like the thicker top thread for top stitching. And then I use it for construction at the end to make sure it's nice. And just clip all of your stray threads. Let's come back over here. Oh, I'm going to knock everything down. A Maltese. That's the white dog, right? Yeah, they just, you know, I'm an animal person, and they like to be wherever we are. So we've got our zipper tab. Is it called a tab? Or zipper, I don't know. Whatever it is, we have it done. Zipper top, that's what it is. Ta-da! Make sure your zipper unzips nicely. Would you put that? Somebody asked.
Mm-hmm. What kind of industrial do you have? So right, 111?
Oh, yeah, Kathy, it's now the Fabricator. It's the same thing. The Fabricator is just prettier and quieter. Make sure your zipper works and doesn't get caught, because now's the time to fix that before you get any further. I mean, that thing stitches amazingly. So, let's see what the next step is. I think we're attaching the, I'll be right back. We need the yolks. I'm going to grab them both while I'm over here. This, in my opinion, is the hardest part of the bag. Let me grab my sharp scissors. Grab the yolks. I think that's a funny word. I'm going to switch my foot back out. To the walking foot. Make life easier. Ow, I'm stuck. What time is it? Oh, we're going to be here a while. Okay, we're switched back. So we are on step 7. Attach yolks. Fold your yolks in half and mark the center of the curve. So we are going to be stitching along the curved part with the zipper. You know, of course. We're going to fold it in half. I need a pen. There's one behind you.
A pokey pen or a pen?
Like a writing pen. And I'm just going to mark it on the wrong side of the fabric. Ta-da! Okay. So we're going to fold this one in half. Crease it a little bit so I can get a mark. That's you. Fold it, mark it. We're going to go ahead and do them all. And you know, the tape probably would help with this part too. We'll see. It's been a while since I made one. Here we go. All right. Okay. So we have to do that same thing with these. Fold it in half. Kathy said, bless you. This is the Snazzy Slouch. It's super cool. It is my all-time favorite pattern. It's Steven's favorite pattern too. Alright, so I'm just gonna cheat and fold it like this.
ChrisW Designs.
This is the group we're in. There's a 20% off coupon code in the group somewhere too. I don't know if somebody has that handy, but I'm pretty sure the coupon is until Sunday. I think it's good until Sunday. Alright, we have our centers now. And we're going to do the exterior first. And I'm using a lightweight denim, and it's interfaced with SF101. Place the exterior side of the zipper strip assembly right side down into the yoke piece, matching raw edges, marks, and easing around the curved fit. We're going to use tape. Make life easy. So, Steven, can you give me some of them pins, please?
Pens.
Yep. I'm going to pin this out of the way. Colleen is so, it really is, I mean, her stuff is so detailed. And in those 63 pages is where you print off just the written directions. So it's kind of big writing with big pictures, but I print everything off. So, alright, I'm pinning this out of the way so I don't accidentally catch my lining. So, this is page 17. We're already on page 17. And the last page is 38. So, it's half of it almost is pattern pieces, and you're cutting, like she does these really cool things so you can label. Man, people are flying through here. Alright, so we're working on this one. We're going to tape it. Double-sided sticky wonder tape. One of the best sewing inventions. We're going to run it down this seam. Make sure you keep your lining piece out of the way. And I'm doing this right sides together. I'm going to go ahead and tape this one while I have it going, because I'm doing right sides together this time. Not wrong side taping. At least it was just tape and not stitches I had to rip out. So I've never used the double-sided tape to do this part, but I think it's going to be a good tool. There we go.
She said, oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was talking about it. Alright, so we've got our centers. We're going to, and it says to lay the yoke up, right side up, but I'm going to stick my marks together first. So there's my center, and there's my center. So I'm going to match them up first. And I just, you know, match them. And then it says to ease it around. And I do this a little differently. I do not clip my curve when I sew, but mine aren't lining up. I think that's right, though. I don't think it lines all the way up. It's not this time. Okay, thanks for watching with us, Kathy. Sorry it's taking so long. This is a long sew.
We'll be able to watch later. It's saved on the...
Yeah, it will be saved when it's done. You'll be able to come back through and watch it again. Alright, so... maybe it is supposed to go all the way through? Let me see if I can stretch it. There we go. Ha! So I stretched it. Not sure if you're supposed to do that, but I did. Pull this off, and we're going to stretch it here. As the picture looks like, I'm not sure I've ever done it all the way to the edge. But the picture looks like it does go all the way. Well, that's close enough, I guess. All right. All right, so we're stitching with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Make sure your lining is out of the way. Oh man, this tape is amazing for this. Alright, so we've got let me make sure I did a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna go back through and make sure that did well. So I'm just going to go back through and make sure that I got it. I feel like it didn't look quite even through spots. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to unpin this part. Flip it over and pin the lining, the other side of the lining, down. We just want to make sure we're not catching that stuff. And let's try this other one. Maybe this time I'll get it. Well, hopefully it's... I don't know. We shall see. This really is the hardest part of this entire pattern, is getting the yoke done. Yoke. I don't know. So I'm going to, this time, stick it to the corner. And go that way. You know, that's how you're supposed to ease with clothes, right? All right. There we go. So if Chris comes on, remind me to ask her what the correct way for this is. Because maybe one day I won't worry about it like that. Make sure you get it all in. The tape really is making it easier. But, you know, you've got to, it says ease. Well, this really, I mean, of the entire pattern, this is the hardest part. Because I can force things to stretch. But you can reposition that tape. And, you know, even with the interfacing, it's still got some stretch to it. There we go. This one's good. Both ends even. This one's not quite. It's off by about 1/4 inch or so, but it'll be fine. So we're going to sew. We're going to go at a 1/4 inch seam allowance again. Back stitch. I hope I get it right this time. It's kind of hard to sew while, you know, trying to make sure y'all can see and all that stuff too. And you probably can't see. I'm sorry. Caught over here. I will never do this part without using the tape again. Because if you're doing it with pins, it still like wants to slide and gap and all that fun stuff. Ta-da! Isn't that going to be cool? That's going to be fun. Okay. Now let's do the lining side. We're going to pull our pins. And since the lining doesn't have interfacing, and sometimes I interface linings, but I didn't this time because this is a slouchy bag. And, you know, sometimes you should follow directions. Alright, pin out of the way. You know, make life easy on yourself. Get stuff out of your way. We're doing this part. Try seeing that the truth. It is, I mean, the 63 pages are kind of scary when you look at them. And I know there are some designers out there that write a book. And it doesn't tell you anything. Well, this is like, I like that you can print off. And I've got them printed off over there. I have a little folder that I keep the printed version in with my templates. And so I do that. And, all right. It makes it easier. I feel like, so my mom's a teacher. And her school colors are teal and purple. I feel like I'm working on a bag for her. She hates those colors together. Huh? Alright, so tape. Over here. Colleen, yours doesn't... Mine hates the double-sided tape. The wall-walk tape. Or my husband calls it waka waka. He says, you got something from Waka Waka? Sally does not like it. She will skip stitches. The only time, knock on wood, the only time she skips stitches is if I sew through that double-sided tape. But this stuff, nothing seems to mind it. Which makes me happy. Let me do left-handed scissors. Ta-da. All right. Put those. I'm getting ready to drop everything. So, I say so a lot, don't I? Push it down. Can you get me some water, please?
Here's your big cup.
Yeah. It's downstairs. All right. Tape off, or paper off. Let's try this again. Centers. Somebody got furniture. So there's a lot of noises outside. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but we live in a fairly new construction neighborhood. Hence why I'm not ironing, because I can't. Alright, so I'm sticking the center together. I'm sticking the edge. I'm sticking the other edge. And I'm lining it up. So I'm turning it to line up. And then I'm going to, maybe, I want to ease it around. But I want, wait. Haha. So since these are not interfaced, I can kind of stretch them. And they ease easier. That's so funny.
Do you want more coffee or anything?
No, I just want some water. Maybe a brownie?
You can't so eat brownie.
I can eat a brownie while I stick. There. That half is stuck. My watchdog. Yeah, I can go like chapstick. No. Well, I have little alcohol things, and I keep them in here. But I literally can go 4 stitches, and it's going to gunk up my needle with other stuff. I keep these in. You're watching the UK. Cool. That's so awesome. Isn't the internet amazing? Sometimes. I'm on the East Coast in the US, so I don't know what time it is. It's like 7 something. At night, in the evening. So I'm terrible with that. My husband is Navy, Steven, the one that's writing for me. He's in the Navy, so he gets to go some really cool places. And he was in England for one of his birthdays when they went to pull in. I don't know all the places he's been to. He's been some really cool places. I'm jealous. Okay, so double-sided tape. If you're making this bag, for sure use the double-sided tape because it's amazing. So you're 5 hours ahead. Well, thanks for staying up late. It's morning. Good morning. It's not morning here. See? It's light out. And like, it's a nice day today. What brand doubles? This is the Wawa. No, this is, I'm pretty sure it's the Clover or something like that. I get it from Joann's. It's the Wonder Tape. It's Wash Away Wonder Tape. All right, we're going back on the 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to sew with this side up. So, something I'm coming to the conclusion, it takes longer to sew when you're talking. Ow, there's a needle under there. Sometimes I do take a hair larger seam allowance in the lining just so it lays smoother. I'm not super exact on my seam allowances. It's just something that I try to be, but you know, it's human. It's not always going to be perfect. Barbara, I'll show you what it is. It's these. It comes in, I don't have a package, but I'm pretty sure it's Wonder Tape. So you've got paper top. And this is, it's wash away, so it's not going to gum up your needle. The Wawak brand, which is a leather tape, and I haven't tried any of the other ones, they will gum up my needle, but they don't do a lot of people's in the industrials. Alright, so check, and if there's a little bit of tape of this showing, I don't care because I can just spray it and wash it off. Oh, Stephen did bring up a brownie. A whole pan of brownies. Looks good. Thank you, babe. I have the best husband. He made me a cool cup years ago. It's my favorite coffee cup. And it's got... Can you move that out of the way for me? Alright, one more side of this, and we are done with the hardest part. I gotta find where my... I don't get a piece?
You do.
Okay, one more side. I gotta find where that side is. There it is. What are you making? Mary, I am making the Snazzy Slouch from, it's in the group. It's 20% off right now. Chris is running a sale until, I'm pretty sure she said Sunday. Grab the bag and we can show them, or I don't have the thing. And I have a brownie.
Oh, the Snazzy bag?
Yeah. Show it. Here, we can turn it around. This is what we're making. There. Okay, you're in the center, so show it off. Maybe. It's a really cool bag. Tons of pockets. It's a slouchy bag, so I guess it's considered like a hobo style. It's got a zipper center divider, and I know a lot of people ask about those. It's so simple to put it in.
Yeah, wait to see. Can you see?
Yeah, this was the one I made 2 years ago. It was the first one I made. Yeah, you can see. It's the center pocket. Okay. That is an added pocket. That is not in the pattern, but I am doing it today. Does that one have a key leash? Ah, there's the key leash. That's a smaller one though. I do it bigger now. And then that one, I mean, it's a couple years old, and I did it with custom fabric from Spoonflower. That's my horse, my first horse I've ever had. She died about 1.5 years ago, but I wanted to put her on. So, okay, I'll flip you back around.
Okay.
So that's the Snazzy. That was my... There we go. That was my first Snazzy, and it's an amazing bag. It's his favorite, too. He likes it. All right, my sticky tape. Can you move my coffee cup before I knock it down?
You knock your brownie down.
You do want to make sure this tape stays on the side, because it will show, but it washes away, so it's really not a big deal. Oh, brownie. So I've got to, I'm going to ask a question. I'm thinking of doing a blog. And I'm trying to think of a name. Somebody suggested, what is it? Making It with Mandy.
Hold on.
And Steven doesn't like it. It's a faux suede. So for a blog name, I was thinking of doing, somebody suggested, and I kind of like it, Making It with Mandy. Steven and my brother-in-law think it sounds a little X-rated. So what do y'all think? The other option was So Mandy. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. You know, I don't know. It's hard to come up with a name. I'm going back to school. I just decided this. I'm going back to school to get my teaching degree. I'm about 2 years away from getting my bachelor's. So I'm going to go back to school now that the kids are, my youngest is going into kindergarten. So I have a little bit more time. Sorry. Alright, center to center. Ow. You always gotta get blood on things.
You need juice.
I need something because I'm
Take
bleeding
the
now.
bottom tissue off your brownie. It's double.
Ow. Oh, well, no. Alright, so we're going to try this again without stabbing myself and making blood everywhere. Center. I marked it with a pin. I do have the friction pins that are the heat erasable ones that work awesome, but I didn't really need it. Wait, right sides together. With this part. I do use it. You like making it with Mandy? See, that's what Steven and my brother-in-law are saying. They say it sounds a little bit X-rated. And of course the guys would think that. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think of, you know, I don't have to have my name in it, but there's, it's just going to be hard. Oh, so Mandy is better. Yeah, see, that's my fear, especially once he said it. I'm like, you know, I kind of like Oh, so Mandy. Yeah, I think making it with Mandy's going to be off the table now.
Woohoo! I win.
Look, now, I like Oh, so Mandy, I also thought about So Mandy Creates, right?
Yeah.
So Mandy Crafts, So Mandy Creates.
So Mandy Creations.
Oh, so Mandy Crafts, something like that, because when you say it fast, it kind of sounds like oh so many.
Oh, so Mandy's kitchen.
Yeah, oh so Mandy is kind of fun. My husband, Steven, says that I should just do because I'm Mandy. But I think that sounds a little bit cocky. So this is going like awesome. I think oh so Mandy is cool too. But should I use SEW or SO? Even though, like, I want to do not just sewing crafts, I want to do, like, jewelry. I want to do some tutorials on jewelry making, and I have a silhouette cameo. You know, people are always curious as to how to do things with that. So, you know, there's a lot of it, but I think Oh So Mandy sounds kind of fun. Alright, 1/4 inch seam allowance. This sticky tape is amazing. And I have checked it, and there's nobody else that has the Oh So Mandy name. Hardest part is going smoothly now. Oh, sewing Mandy. That's kind of cute.
Mandy sews. Mandy so Mandy crafts.
I like Oh So Mandy, I think. And I think that was Steven's that I did not like at first. How about Create with Mandy? Look, 2 people at once. Create with Mandy. That's kind of cool. Or Craft with Mandy. But I think that might have been... Should I do Create or Craft?
Baby brownie.
No! Nice save. This is fun. Thanks for joining me, guys. I always backstitch too. What? What are you laughing at?
I got back in time to watch myself save the brownie.
Alright, let's check. Make sure we got everything. Ta-da! Amazing! So, you do want to stretch it. There is one that is not stretched. And I'm not going to redo it. Let's see. Alright, let's see. There it is. Alright, so when we do this, that's kind of confusing, dude. Not stretched, stretched. So There's just one end that's a little bit off, and I think we'll be okay. So we've got, you know, we still zip. I'm gonna have a brownie bite. And then we're gonna read directions. So, the biggest problem that I have come across with doing patterns is not reading the directions. So, we've gone 7. Alright, so we're on close the zipper, press all seams so that they lie towards the zipper strips. Pin these exterior and lining seams together to hold in place. And you want to make sure the yokes stay out of the way. So we're going to top stitch. There's, oh look, here's our Sasha. There's our 1.5-year-old German Shepherd. Sasha.
Chasing a cat.
Yeah, she's chasing a cat. My daughter's cat misses her, so she's been pestering us. Alright, so we are going to top stitch the zipper side of the seams through all layers so that you're going to attach the lining and the exterior together here. So we're going to use, you know, it'd be nice if my iron wouldn't trip the breaker right now. But we're going to do it with this handy dandy little finger press. Clover brand. I got mine on Amazon. So we're going to take, and in the pattern it does say clip your seams. I do not like clipping seams. I feel like it makes mine a little bit more sloppy. So I'm just going to press it with this. And we're going towards the zipper. Look, cat. That's the cat knocking it around. She's really pretty. This is Maggie's cat. Meow. This is Missy. She's gonna knock over my little stand. Go. She's a pain.
Lots of kids love her.
Yeah, she loves my daughter. My Sasha is the German Shepherd, and she's Steven's dog. And she has been the best dog. The only problem we run into is she's the pickiest eater. Like, she won't eat some days. And it stresses me out. And after her first heat cycle, she went through a false pregnancy. That is not fun. Alright, so I'm going to take, I've pressed them-ish together. Can we see? I don't know if I can zoom in. Nope, I can't. Okay, so I have these two seams, exterior lining, and I have them facing each other. So I'm going to take and start at the center, and I'm going to kind of match it up and put some pins in. You know, there's a lot of times you can get away with not pinning. This is not one of them. So make sure your seams, and am I going to sew? I'm going to sew from the other side. Whoa. Yeah. So I want to pin from this side.
You got extra hands in your video, dude.
And so you can see it line up, but you want it to push those seams. I don't know, this is kind of hard to show. You want to push those seams in, so when you have a sandwich, let's see, we've got this sandwich and the seams, you know, the raw edges face the zipper. You want those raw edges facing the zipper. And you can kind of feel it. So it does take a little bit of time just to get it straight. And then you pin it. And then make sure everything is in. But this is one of the, you know, you don't have to, if you take your time, you don't have to clip those edges. I'm not a fan of clipping edges. I know a lot of people are, and if you are, that's fine. You can absolutely do it. I feel like it gives it, I like to top stitch and catch it in there. Alright, so we're going to go back to this end and catch that, face it the right way, pin it. And it doesn't, you know, this really, it goes together so nicely. And you're not fighting with, you know, everybody is into the huge, really structured bags now. And you have to fight them. I made a net from Swoon. And it was a pretty easy sew. You know, it was a nice pattern. But boy, did you have to smush that thing around. And it turned out like, I thought it was going to be about the size of Snazzy. Because they're really close in size. But it doesn't hold hardly anything. So I need to find some fabrics and make me a new Snazzy. I don't know who these are going to go to. I might make, I've got a horse one in the making. I might make that one for me. Alright. So we've got our, you know, lining and exterior zipper pieces pinned together. Then we're just gonna pin these, or we can clip them. Keep them out of the way. You do not want to catch these into the stitching you're getting ready to do. So, you know, put some clips. Make sure it stays out the way. Because, you know, we don't like to meet our friend the seam ripper. Ow. And I got these pins from Waka Waka, according to Steven. I always have to say that. These are really nice pins. They come by like the 1,000 for really cheap for your US shoppers. I got them from Wawak, and they're about 2 inches, maybe. Let me see. 1.5 inches. Here's my other cat. Oh, you can't see him. This is Oscar. This is the one that thinks he's a dog. He's the coolest cat ever. Alright, so let's get that other side done. Let's see. I pinned it. So, make sure you don't catch your yoke into, how do you say it?
Yoke. Like egg yolk.
Okay. Make sure, Oscar! Make sure you don't have anything caught, because I did. Alright, we're going to go with the center. Match your center pieces together. Let me see if we can do this way and go a little faster. Match your center pieces. And seams in. Pin. And then go to the ends. And this one is the one that, just drop it, you know, in the process. We'll do that too. Seams in. And, you know, I can't iron right now because I'm blowing those fuse. But honestly, I don't iron that much with it. Did I not do my seams in there? I don't iron as much because I feel like you can finger press and get very close to the same thing. Sometimes I feel like ironing just gives you bigger messes. Alright, seams in. I don't know what way I'm pinning anymore.
Upside down up.
Just shove your seams in. And as I'm stitching, I will go through and make sure those are where they're supposed to be. Seams in. Yeah, you just kind of shove it where it goes. Alright. I will do this on the Janome. No. The Sailrite. My industrial. Because it's top stitching. And I'm going to go, I think it says 1/8 of an inch away. I'll double check that. But I'm going to. Just clip these for now because I will be running my hand in between. Make sure we don't want to clip it or catch it. And I'm not caught this time. Alright, come on over here. I might need your help, babe. Alright, we are top stitching.
You're looking at a lot of the base here. Is that any way?
Alright, we are stitching on the zipper side through both layers. And we're going to go 1/8 of an inch. It doesn't really say.
I like that.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that, honey.
What?
No, I don't know if my arm's going to be in the way. Alright, make sure your seams point in still because they like to move. And we are going to try to not knock you out. We're going to go get my seam going. Pull needles. Get this stuff out of the way. Make sure everything is out of the way. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I am going to just make sure as I'm going along that I have my seams in. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to block that for a minute. I'm just taking my finger and pushing the seams in. And then I'm going to stitch slowly without running my finger over. Don't run over your needles. And this is probably one of the worst time, like I always stab myself when I do stuff like this. Alright. We're going. And I like to put my finger as a stopping point. Can you see on it, babe?
Yep.
Even when I'm sewing. Alright. Run those seams in. So you could probably avoid doing the entire thing that I just did of all that stitching or pinning and stuff like that and just run it in. But the proper way would be to run your seams. Kind of like the look with denim. I like sewing with denim. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain. But I just like the look. Make sure your stuff stays out of the way. Give it a little tug. Make sure you're nice and snug. Stab yourself with the other side, you know. I'm not sure how people did it when all they had to do was sure you're still facing the right way. We are. Let me find my snips. These are from Amazon too. Really amazing. And they're fun. Cheap, and you get like a bunch of them. So obviously that's not right where the extra 1/4 inch is. These are where there's not supposed to be a gap. Alright, let's try this on the other side. So we've got our stitching, and it's mostly pretty. And I am using gray thread. I like to use gray. I'm not even sure what color I would pick to match with this one because it's so crazy. And this is, I mean, so this industrial, this is Sally. Oh no. And I just dropped a needle. There it is. Sally is the Sailrite 111, and she is a compound feed walking foot industrial machine. In a lot of the groups, they will recommend the 8700, the Juki 8700, and the 11 something. Kim, what did you miss, Kim? I don't know what. I'll try to answer whatever you missed. I'm working on the yoke right now. That's so funny. They say you can't, with a compound feed, you can't sew thinner fabrics, all that stuff, but I sew thinner fabrics all the time. These pins kind of blended.
The video won't play on her computer. Will this be saved so I can watch it later today?
Deb, it will be saved. I hope nobody else is having some problems. It will be, if you can catch it back later while I'm still working. We're still a ways away. It's taking forever. It will be still working. I don't know if you can hear me, but Steven's going to answer too. It'll be saved and uploaded into the group, so we will be able to find it. And you might just have to search Snazzy Slouch video, and it should come up. Right. So that's done. Yay. And I'm a thread trimmer. I don't like to have threads hanging as I go. So we have my dog running me over. Alright, we have our yoke. Ta-da! So it will be...
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't currently. Oh, I do, but it doesn't really have much on it. So this is how, there we go. It's gonna go like this. Ta-da. And we've got the back side. It's not there. I might be able to post it there. I don't know. We'll talk to Chris about it and see what she thinks. I do have a YouTube channel, so we'll link it with wherever it ends up. I don't know if YouTube is easier to watch. YouTube sometimes takes a really long time to upload to. Yeah, so I don't know. If we do upload it to YouTube, it will probably be edited down some, and I don't know how to edit, so that will be a Steven project, which is my husband. What's being made? Snazzy Slouch. Alright, we are on to attach body to yokes. First, we need to finish preparing your main panel. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to use the iron.
What do you mean?
I need you to run the extension cord from the studio.
That one?
Yep. Or go get the other one. Go get the orange one and run it from by the stairs.
Where's this one coming from?
Oh, this one's from right here. But I need it from this. I need it from the loft, and hope it doesn't.
Reach in there, does it?
And hope it doesn't trip it. Okay, so we're gonna get the. Two exterior
Mary
pieces.
says, thanks for doing this.
You're welcome. Alright, I'm gonna have to iron because I have to, and we're gonna hope it doesn't trip the breaker. You know, so he's getting an extension cord, and I'm gonna run it from the other room. Alright, we have the base pieces. It is more denim. Right sides together. And I'm gonna stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I don't pin if I don't have to with stuff like this. All right. I think I top stitch. Alright, it doesn't say to top stitch the bottom, but I think I did on the last one, and I like it. Let me check. Yeah, I stitched the bottom. So I'm going to open my seam up, which I got to do anyway because I'm getting ready to attach the fusible fleece. I'm going to open my seam, you know, my handy dandy little thing. Open. And this is the bottom. So we are working with the 2 exterior panels, the base, and we have a stampede coming up the stairs. Alright, so I'm going to stitch on both sides of this over here. You know, because we're top stitching again. Move that out of the way. Make sure your seam is open. Wow, that's bad lighting. Seam is open, and I am placing it face down there. And I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch-ish away. Yeah, it's been like that. Take that iron over there. Okay, so I'm just running my hand under here to make sure the seam stays open. And I'm going to go all the way down.
Well, we just said text, not sure.
cotton. Hopefully it's not going to. Alright, so we're going to go across and do the same thing down this side. This is not in there that I saw, but I just feel like it is something that kind of helps.
Did you answer Kim?
Kim, this is the compound walking foot machine. I prefer to use a walking foot whenever I can. Really, the only time I don't use one is when I'm installing zippers on the other machine. It just feeds it so much nicer. Alright, we're going to try and get this done without having some technical difficulties. So let's go over here real quick. And ta-da! I'm trying to. There. Okay. So we're going to. We've got our. Can you see that? There we go. This is our fusible fleece. So we go and line it. Put it face down. Make sure you got your stuff right. And I normally use the heat press. I might trip a breaker with this. I'm about over this whole breaker stuff. What, I can't see what she's saying. I'm using a puny iron, a 1200 water, because my really good one is tripping a breaker within like a couple minutes. They're supposed to be coming out and fixing it for us, so we'll see. And I feel like this fuses really fast with it fusing to the SF101. Good night, Jan. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's taken so long. I appreciate you joining in. Make sure you get your corners really well. I'm a kind of a rule breaker when it comes to fusing and stuff. I have the Aussie's a girl, the German Shepherd is a girl. The only boys we have in our house is my husband and one of our 3 cats. He's kind of outnumbered. Oh. Alright, so we have, you know, I really like the look of the top stitching on this. We're going to just hit it. And I have found, for all you dog animal lovers that get hair everywhere, that if you iron it and steam it, it brushes off a lot easier. A little trick. Alright, so it looks like we've got pretty good and done. Let's move you back over here. We're going to go for a ride again. Haha. Ta-da! You like my sunglasses? I still have sunglasses on when I'm not. Yeah, the lint rollers are great, and I have the Cameo too, and I do I have the Cameo 1 also, and I have the transfer tape for it. That stuff works amazing. Okay, we need directions. Directions help. All right, that's not directions.
How you eat that brownie, or you have...
All right, so we are now on we've attached the yolks. We're attaching our, I skipped a page. Attaching the body to the yolks. Take one end of your exterior main panel piece with right sides together. We're on page 19, the end of it. Take one end of your exterior main panel piece with the right sides together. Pin one exterior yoke to the top of it. The short sides of the main panel are the tops. Stitch. Let's hope I can figure that one out. I guess at this point it doesn't matter which move my brownie crumb. Okay. Our base we just made. This. We're going to pin these out of the way. Or clip them. We do not want to catch the lining yoke. Yoke. Into the this stitching. Alright, so we're gonna fold. It's in my lap, sorry. They kind of lay like that. I'm just gonna fold them in just to kind of keep it out of the way. Okay. Yeah. It's facing my lap. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, it's good.
So I'm just going to pin those.
Oh, she said, can you hold that up? What did you clip?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. Let me finish pinning this. And I will show you. Okay, so. We have the yoke and the zipper top. And we're getting ready to attach the exterior, the black parts, to our exterior main panels. So I want to make sure I keep my lining yokes out of the way because I have sewn them in before. It's not fun to unpick. So I just took clips, clipped the top, the lining, I just folded them in, clipped them on both ends, and then folded them in, and they fold really neatly, and pinned them. Just stuck a, yeah, it's not fun to have to take that stuff up. Okay, so then we're going the flat side, here to here. We are, let's see, here to here. And we're going to pin right sides together and sew. And I am going to pin this just because it's kind of big. And I don't want it stretching out.
You make this bag for anybody?
Might be a gift this year. A phone call came in.
It's still holding.
I think it freezes when it does that. Alright. Had to make sure. Did it freeze?
It just jumped a second. So good.
Okay. A phone call came in. I'm sorry. I don't know who it was, but it was probably one of those people. We have been trying to contact you. You know, that really have, and it's automated.
You had 20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, so we are pinned. We're going to do a 1/4 inch seam. This black on black is really hard to see.
Is a 1/4 inch seam standard for the whole pattern, right?
Yes, 1/4 inch seam unless otherwise stated. And I think since I've got some good thickness going on, I'm going to go over to the sale rate. I know, they're so annoying. I'm going to stitch it on the sale rate. It's just, I like to have the thicker. I get a lot too. I feel like I feel like the cell phones are worse with it. my brownies over here. I'm going to make my stitch length about a 3. Just because I like it to be a little bit smaller when I'm assembling. And we're going to cruise right on here. So I told, you know, my plan was to, I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen all the 6 bags I had cut out. I didn't even see the angry face. I had 6 bags cut out for this, and my plan was to get them, you know, mostly done. And I don't know if it's because there's, you know, people running the AC so much right now, but I keep tripping the breaker, and it's ticked me off. So I haven't made a Snazzy in a year. So I will be probably, I'm sure, making some mistakes. And when after I do these, I just want to make sure that my line is straight. And I just want to go back through this one because I'm not crazy about. I feel like I got off a little bit. And it might just be because of... It was on. It was just because of the white, you know, the interfacing wasn't all the way. Yeah, I get them all the time. And they've gotten smart, so they try to call you from where your phone is based out of. And it just kind of ticks me up. All right, we're going to do the other side. Pretty sure. Repeat for other side. Yes. So, Mary, anytime. I love being able to help people learn how to do this. We were all beginners at one time. This is really an easy bag, I think, to sew. As long as, you know, you just follow the steps. You're a dealer. I hope. What kind of dealer?
Oh, the car dealer.
Oh, you're a car dealer? Oh, yeah. So, you know, these videos really, technology has made it so much easier to get help. And I love making this stuff for gifts. And I do sell them, or did. I'm going back to school, so I'm stopping my business for now. And I'm going to do the blog. You know, unfortunately, people don't want to pay handmade prices. So.
I think that'd be a question for Chris.
What? I tried to buy the pattern. I'm surprised it didn't let you use PayPal. If you... I will send an email to Chris.
Is it Christine Welsh?
Yeah. And see about that. Maybe tag her in that part. It should let you buy it. I haven't seen anybody else. I buy everything through PayPal. Mary, I am going to study elementary education. I have my associates in education, so I need to get my bachelor's. And we have a college right here that I can do my online, that I can do it all online. All right. Let me get that line straight. Straightish. So a little tip too, when you're doing what I do, when I am winding a bobbin, I wind a bunch at a time. So when I run out, retired licensed family child care. I'm from a family of teachers, so it's been in the back of my mind for years and years, and now that the kids are in school, I think I want to go back to teaching, or go finish it for teaching. Alright, we are on the next step. Yeah, Kathy, I'm excited about it. It was a last minute decision. Nah. Kind of blindsided Steven. But I'm happy about it. I'm very excited about it. Alright, we are press seams toward the main panel. Attach body to yokes. Press seams to main panel, turn right side out, open zipper, top stitch close to the seam on the main panel side, making sure you keep your yoke lining out of the way. Can you find it? Do you have the code still? If not, I can have him look for the code too. I don't know what the code is right off the bat. But open up a new tab and you can go to ChrisW Designs. I'll come right up. Alright, we're flipping. Right side out. And it says, open the zipper. I'm not sure I need to open the zipper. We're going to stitch, press the seam down. Thanks, Ruth. Yeah, he was not so happy with me, I don't think, because he thought it was going to cost us a lot of money. But through financial aid, and hopefully he's going to... Oh, you need the code. In the group, there's a code. I think it's live and snazzy, or snazzy and live, or something like that.
Snazzy Slouch going live?
No, there's a code. We're gonna push our seams down, and gonna top stitch down that side. So this is gonna be fun. And it says to open your zipper, but if I open my zipper, I can't get through it because I pinned it. So we're just going to try it this way.
Is there a pink purse?
We're going to go back to our stitch length of almost 4. And just wrangle it. You put the code in. So you have the code. Maybe. Alright. Oh, well look on it. You can go off of it from... I think I'm going to wrangle it like this. So I'm going to keep it right side out. Make sure your... Put my needle down. Make sure your needle's down when you do this. And 1/8 inch away, and you just kind of take your time. Ow! Stab yourself with a pen. He's having technical difficulties over there. Some of this part just takes time and patience. There is a lot of top stitching in these. You know, those that have the cylinder arm industrial could be super fast at it. I don't have one of those. And you don't have to have it. Alright. We're going. And needle down. Steven's working on it. He's having technical difficulties over there. Yeah, wouldn't that be a really cool machine? But really, I mean, you know, You can do so much on a flatbed. And the thing that I don't like about the looks of the Talk with Chris, yeah. And the code didn't work for you, Colleen? You know, technology is awesome sometimes. Colleen, have you done any of Chris's designs of patterns yet? Alright, we are coming to the end. Only one more side to go. Let me out. Alright. Get those threads trimmed. Alright, one side done. And we caught it. Good. So now we want this side. Seam down. Hi, Chris. So you missed me mess up earlier. I have one slight boo-boo in this.
I don't see her on here.
She just did the right above your comment.
No, I haven't heard yet. I think it's eating my bandwidth.
Huh?
I think it's eating my bandwidth trying to pull up this website.
Alright. We should have plenty. Cats try and knock y'all over.
Bruce says it's great to see you struggle. It shouldn't feel like it puts now.
It's hard to get in here, and you just kind of gotta keep on messing with it. Make sure your seam is pushed the right way, and since I can't iron very easily right now, which I honestly don't a whole lot anyway. I kind of like to iron, but sometimes it's just easier.
A flatbed.
A flatbed? What do you mean?
Karajuki is a flatbed.
Oh, I didn't see some of these. This is a flatbed.
Oh, so it's built into the table?
Yeah.
You should build that loaded out.
That makes it a flatbed. Makes that. We were talking about a cylinder arm. Yeah, the flatbed, you know, I don't have a problem with the flatbeds at all. It just takes, you know, take your time and it comes out. The cylinder would probably be faster. Mary, you've got the 2010 or something like that? The straight stitch quilting machine? That's a cool looking machine. I think that's what you said you had.
I had to close the other website. Refresh your Facebook.
Well, go ahead.
Did you see me post the link?
Yeah.
And then Mary's comment, and then I never never saw Chris or anybody else.
Okay, so the good thing about these is that foot lifts really high. All right, let's get this cleaned up. Threads. It looks like it is a smooth sewing machine. I really like it. It's quiet too, from what I've seen. I've never played with it. All right, let's flip this sucker back out and make sure everything looks good. It will be mostly hidden. Ow! I think I just flung. I don't know where it is. All right. So, this is what, move you back some. This is what the outside of the bag would look like if you didn't put the pockets on. So we've got the top stitching, and now we're getting ready to put pockets on. Oh. Alright, now we will attach the exterior pockets. Take one of your completed exterior pockets and place it with the lining side of the pocket against the right side of the exterior bag. Position it so the top stitched edge of the pocket is 1/4 inch above the yoke exterior seam. I need pockets. Page 20. We're on step 9. You don't gotta update it, honey. And I do think I'm going to have to take the pins out now. I lost my pins there on this side. So that I can open up that the zipper. Because I think this, if I remember correctly, this part I have to be able to get into the zipper. Alright. So now my arm fits through. Alright, we need the sorry, you're getting a full body shot. Right. Mary, she said that if you can buy through ChrisW, I don't know if you saw the post. If you buy through ChrisW, she will just send the email to her with your receipt or receipt number or something, and she will refund you the difference. Can y'all still see me? Steven said it's been interrupted. I don't know. All right, we've got our pockets. We are doing our top stitched.
You just got real fuzzy.
I wonder if that's you or me. Right, we are doing it 1/4 inch above. And I'm just doing a... Kathy, you can still see me? Steven's having some issues over there. Is it buffering or like, is it funky?
I am currently buffering. Something must have happened. It went all the way down to 9.
Yeah. How long has it been going?
Oop, 2 hours ago.
We might be having some... The Wi-Fi. Sometimes it... let me know if that gets any better. Sometimes if I take it off the Wi-Fi up here, it works better. Is that any better?
It's just starting to get dark.
Alright, I am
See if that,
sticking this in.
alright, it's less fuzzy if I give you a little more light.
Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. Alright, I'm just making sure that this is up about the same distance.
Marion was able to get the discount.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so we're better now, Kathy, now that we've taken it off of the Wi-Fi, hopefully. Sometimes it just likes to be dumb. And I'm just trying to make sure that I have this even. And I'm going to clip.
Your phone shouldn't have to work as hard in that darkness.
I don't know. Okay. So, we are going to next page. We're going to base the sides together with an eighth inch seam, and we're going to top stitch the bottom to the exterior of the bag with an eighth inch top stitch. Take care while stitching exterior pockets at all times to ensure that you don't stitch your yoke lining to the other side of the exterior of your pockets. So, I'm going to stitch from the inside because I'm going to have to trim. It doesn't look straight. I may not have this perfectly straight. It's close. We're going to go with that. I'm going to stitch down just 1/8 of an inch away. I'm going to shorten up my seam allowance. Let's come back over here. Ta-da! Make sure all your stuff's out the way. And we're just doing 1/8 of an inch, so just kind of a basting stitch. Can you hand me those scissors over there, because I'm going to have to trim off this seam allowance, or this extra.
Which ones?
These ones that are up there. Alright, so get this out of the way. And I'm going to caught on something. pockets are clearly not level. Sometimes I do square things back up. I did not today, so hopefully it works out. Alright, what I am going to do is I'm going to trim off just that exterior extra stuff. Put it in my trash can. I don't like to have extra fabric. I think that was just my lining of the pocket. Alright, so now what I need to do is go down this line with an 1/8 inch seam and stitch it down onto the base. It's kind of got to wrangle it again so that it doesn't, you know, get caught up. So we're going to, I think I flip it again, or kind of gonna wrangle it this way. 1/8 inch. I back stitch because I'm a back stitcher. Okay. All I got is I will look forward to sewing this blank. Mary, I'm so glad you were able to get it. I don't know why the PayPal's not working. That's kind of odd. Most of the time PayPal, I wonder if PayPal's having issues. Alright, I'm going to flip it inside out and sew that, this bad boy down. And I hope I keep it straight. There we go. Because this does get seen. So, I mean, I'm hoping it's going to turn out straight. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of measuring. Which I should be. And I'm just sewing along, trying to keep it as flat as possible. I've got my hand kind of in here. And just sewing along. So getting it out of this part is not easy. Okay, so we've got it sewn down. Sewn down somewhere around here. There we go. Get our threads. Turn it back out. See how it looks. I think it looks pretty good. That's pretty straight. All right. So it's nice and soft. Okay, now we have to stitch down the center. So I will measure that. Let me get a pen. I'm not sure how well my chalk's going to show up, but I've got a chalk. I'm going to fold it in half.
Say that, nice job, looks nice.
Thanks, I think it's going to be pretty cool. Alright. I don't know where my stuff is. We've got, let's measure. 16 and a half. So we're going to go in 8 1/4. So my stuff is not super straight. Yeah, I'm off. Well, dang, that's gonna be the back. Okay.
How far is it off?
A good bit. So it's not gonna be super straight. I now have a back, and my front will be better. So I'm just using my chalk, and I should be able.
Explain what you're measuring. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the center for my thing, but I think I just measured wrong. I think it was, I didn't subtract an inch. Yeah, I have 15 and a half. So it's 7 3/4. Not, let me erase that line. I'm gonna go.
She said, can you fold the bag in half?
I tried that, but I can't mark it. Like, I mean,
If you fold it the other direction and mark the seam side.
it's kind of thick at this point. So let's see if we can do it. It's got all that fluffing now. This. Yeah, sometimes. The only problem is this pocket is, you know, it for sure is one that is going to be seen.
She said, make 2 little marks on the crease, unfold, and draw a line.
Thank you. Sometimes it just does not work for me. Hey, look, that makes it look straight. Ish. Alright. That is 8 inches. Alright, so we're going to stitch from here to here, bottom to top. And I turn 1 stitch, come down. This needs to be open. There, no, I just pulled it apart. Well, I just pulled apart my sewing, so we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. But for now, it's going to make life easier. Alright. And make sure your needle goes down where you want it to. And your stuff is out of the way. Your yoke. just going to turn it around and go right back down. Back stitch.
Yeah. So it takes a village. She's in several crafty groups now, help each other.
It does. Right, staying out of the way of all of my lining stuff. Snip this thread, snip this thread. And I guess I will stitch that back up in a little while. I'm not going to be too concerned about it right now. Alright, so we have our back pocket. We got one pocket, two pockets. So now we need our front one. Try to move my chair out of the way. I can get it a little straighter this way. Let me see. Get everything lined up. Lining it up with the other side.
Love lots of pockets.
Yes, I love lots of pockets. I'm just trying to straighten things out. Without making them, because it does have. Alright, we're going to stitch down the sides again and then I'll trim it off. Zip that up just a little bit. 1/8 inch seam. Out the way. Make that flat. Okay. And I'm going my 1/8 inch seam off of the lining or the main fabric because the other ones can stretch some without it being interfaced. Twisted up, didn't it? Okay, so we might do the outside today and the lining another day. How does that sound to people? On Sunday, we can do the lining, or tomorrow. Does that sound, or do people not care about just watching? I don't want to, you know, you ought to be bored or whatnot. I know this has been going on a while. But this is almost done. The exterior is almost done. Yeah, I'm thinking that we might, when we do these live sew-along things, we might want to do a, you know, exterior one day and the interior maybe the next day, or, you know, do one week and one next week, give people a chance to catch up. I don't know. It's something new we're trying. I've never done a live sew-along before, so I think it's kind of cool. I think it gives a chance to ask questions and answer questions and help each other. And let's see if I can get this out. Ta-da! Now, to the measuring part. It was 8 inches. Hey, look, that one looks pretty level. I had kind of thought that, but then you have to top stitch. I think you could add it at the bottom and be good, but then you'd kind of have to make sure it's out of the way too. Oh, thank you, Judith. Let's see. I need my, it was 8 inches, roughly. We're going to go with that. Hey, look, this one's a lot straighter.
Damn it.
This one's, oh, so the front looks good.
Go. My goodness.
The front looks good. Alright, let's get that done. We're going to go so we should keep doing them. Chris had asked about maybe doing, I guess people were talking about doing, what was it? It looked like kind of like a bucket bag. I've never made it, but it looks like kind of a cool bag. So, I'll do it. I'm game. Alright, we're going down. I'm going the right direction. Lining's out of the way. Make sure. Go. Hopefully for the next one, my my stuff is fixed so I can actually iron. You know, that's a big pain not to be able to use that. Alright, we're almost done with the outside. I think now the next step is to stitch up the sides. I guess I should probably stitch my zipper back together. What's going on here? That's pretty cute. By the time it's all stitched up, you won't be able to tell that it's not. Alright, we're going to stitch this bad boy together. Because it broke. Because I didn't do it right. Let this come undone. Ha ha. It's not coming anywhere. Alright, let's do that other end. My stitching earlier did not hold. So, we're going to go. I do not want that coming undone once we start going further. Alright, next step. Directions. Check. Form the bag bottoms. Turn your bag's main panels to the right sides together with the zipper still open. Pin the main panels and yoke sides together, making sure your pockets line up. Pin the yoke linings together up out of the way. So we are opening our zipper, flipping, flip everything right side out. Pin this up out of the way, new pins, so I can stab myself some more. Alright, we're pinning the lining yoke out of the way. Is this a pretty good view? I don't know if people are still here, but looks okay. Yeah, me too. Alright, pinning yoke. Yoke. And then we are going to pin that one out of the way. Alright, so we're going to stitch down this side. We're going to center that, get that out of the way. So match your seams, your side seam. Hope everything lines up fairly well. It should line up fairly well at the bottom. So we're doing both sides, match side seams, you know, your pockets, that kind of thing. Okay. And then got my stitch length about 3. We're going to go through, stitch down on both sides at a 1/4 inch. Make sure you've got that 1/4 inch seam allowance. And my foot right on that edge is a 1/4 inch. Back stitch when I hit those heavier seams. Alright. Uh-oh. Either my bobbin ran out or my bobbin thread broke. Ooh, I got some mess going on down here. Sometimes my bobbin has some issues. So, my bobbin likes to spin. So this bobbin, and I guess long arms do the same thing. They spin in the bobbin sometimes, so I have to kind of make it a little bit thicker. Next, bigger. It typically happens when I go fast. Sure. Ow!
You sewed your finger?
No. I'm using needles and I don't use needles very often. And they're up in the top. Okay. Haha. The next step is top stitching. I'm going to lengthen this to about a 4 because this is a little bit tricky. There's a lot of top stitching in this bag, which I like. I think top stitching makes a neat bag. It's unpinned. These things are sharp. Kathy, are you East Coast? I think I saw that you were East Coast, or are in the East Coast right now. Yes, up north. Are you the one visiting Maine? Or Philadelphia? Someplace up there. All right, next step. We're on page 23. Stitch side seams, press open, turn right side out, carefully top stitch on both sides of the side seams approximately 1/8 inch from the seam. So handy dandy. I too like top stitching. Yeah, I feel like this machine has really helped me be a better top stitcher. You're in Tennessee. What part of Tennessee? You know what? We're just gonna go with it. Mary's in Maine. You're visiting Maine. See? I get confused. Alright. I got a lot of bag here. This is going to be interesting to trying to open up the seam a little bit. Alright, so we're going to top stitch, attempt to top stitch some of this bag, get that in there. Got so much stuff going on over here. Alright, so the kind of just feeling around too and making sure these seams get out of the way. And I didn't get that perfectly lined up, but Wizard of Oz.
comments. You're doing a good job, babe. Keep it up.
Alright, we're just gonna go with it. Because I can't really get some of it. The Wizard of Oz, yeah. Yeah, Steven, my husband, is back there text or messaging or what is it called? Replying as me. I told him I was going to add him to the group and he didn't want to be. Party pooper. Grandbabies. Ah. Those are the best, aren't they? My kids are at Graham Camp right now. My mom had to take my oldest to the doctor because she's got an ear infection. Why can't I get this? There we go. Now I'm going to run over my finger. So make sure your fingers stay out the way. Alright. Lift up that foot. And in the directions it says if you can't get all the way down, don't worry about it. Because, you know, the bottom, I think it's 2 inches, gets cut off. But I don't even know what's going on here. Oh God, there we go. 3 grandbabies. That's what my mom has. We have 2. My brother has 1, all girls. Aw, a new baby. Congratulations. We are very glad to be out of the baby stage. Alright, I'm going to turn, take a stitch-ish, and come back up the other side, and hope it works. Because I got to the bottom. I know this is not very exciting to watch. Unless you like watching me struggle. Look, this part is smooth sailing, except I got stuck. I might need to do some adjusting on my foot after this bag. I'm going to be upset if my bobbin is not working right. Alright, now I gotta catch up. Aw. Yeah, it's hard being so far away. We're 8.5 hours from my mom now. We are 18 hours from Steven's parents. We made a Texas trip this summer. Alright, so we've got some top stitching. Not the greatest right there. We're going to go with it. Let's do that other side. Let me check this bobbin first. What kind of professor, Mary? What did he teach? That was one of the things I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to be a math professor. Alright, next. Let's get this party started. Don't you like me singing? Alright, let's move not. So, over that. We don't want to break a needle. I want to keep that. So this is definitely What part of Florida were you in? We just moved. We're in the kind of the Jacksonville area. We just moved here last year. So we're in northeast. Sarasota. Oh, you were, yeah, so you were like close to Orlando. My uncle lives down there. Right? Isn't Sarasota down there? We do not like Jacksonville. We love where we are. We are in Yulee. Well, we have a Fernandina Beach address. We live about 15 minutes from a beautiful oceanfront. Not a place we ever would have thought we liked, but we really like it. Tampa. Oh, okay, so that's further away than I thought. You're on the, yeah. So I may not quite be doing this right because my seam doesn't want to open. So we're just going to do it this way. We're just going to stitch. Yeah, we, Stephen's Navy. So we are, you know, this is our third move in 11 years, so not bad at all. Yeah, we, you know, Jacksonville's kind of nasty, but this light is hot. Where we are is really nice. Pretty quiet. And we found this place by accident. He's got an hour commute to work, but... Alright. So we're going... I don't know what's going on here, but... Make sure your yoke's out of the way. I'm going to have to do some adjusting on this machine for sure. This is not a perfect bag. Okay, we're almost done with the front. Let's flip it out. See, now we gotta box our corners. But, so let's see. Whoa, I'm knocking everything down. So we've got our top stitching. Let's see. You can't really see it, but we'll, the gray. We'll pretend it's straight. Never been on the other side of Florida. I used to show horses. We used to go to Tampa yearly for a Thanksgiving show. I'm originally from Virginia. Alright. So, now we are forming the bottom of the bag. I've already done that page. Step 11.
This is amazing, Amanda. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. It's not going perfect and it's slow, but I hope it's helping people. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. So we are turning the bag wrong side out because, you know, I just turned it right side out. So let's flip that sucker back around. Alright, we are wrong side out. My wrist is kind of getting a little sore. So, years ago, I broke my wrist in 3 spots. And I started, sometimes it does get sore. But, alright, so we are...
Bag is looking super from Kathy.
Thank you. Alright. Pinch your corners to form triangles and draw a line 2 inches from the point. Pin in place, stitch. Don't trim off your corners. Hi, Laura. You live in Kentucky? What part of Kentucky? So I went, we used to go to Lexington for the Kentucky Horse Park for horse shows. And you're going to get my life story. And we did Louisville yearly for a little while for nationals. I want to take Steven. So my husband is in the background answering for me in some places in Winnie, Texas. And he's never been to Kentucky. I want to take him to the Kentucky Horse Park.
I want to see the mythological bluegrass.
It is blue. Western side.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds fun. I guess we were always on the east side. It's Louisville. I don't know. My geography sucks, by the way.
U.S. geography sucks. Next time, jump all the way up. Come on.
Kentucky's one of my favorite states that I've been to. I'm an East Coast person. I do not like Texas or New Mexico. Steven's from Texas. Ish. He grew up in Texas. I don't like it. Alright, so I triangled my sides. Louisville's 4 hours. Oh, I didn't realize it was on the western side. It was a long drive. Okay, so I have triangled my corners, and I'm going to go 2 inches up from the corner and draw a line once I find my pen. Yeah, he was born in Florida, so he is not a Texas raised, but haha, see? No, oh, it's on the eastern side. You said the western side. I don't have to navigate. That's his job. Alright, 2 inches. You know, you need some sticky tape along with it. 2 inches. How am I going to do this? There we go. 2 inches. Got it. Check. Alright, so we are going 2 inches and drawing a line. No, I'm not using an erasable pen. I am using a Bic. Michigan. See, I want to go see, we used to drive, when I was doing horse shows, we used to drive to Canada, and we'd go through, we would go to Saskatchewan, So we would go through all the northern states, and it was kind of fun. But I want to go to Montana and stuff like that. All right, 2 inches from the bottom, from the corner. Draw a line, hope it's straight. That does not look straight. According to my ruler, it's straight. Okay. See, I'm not the only one bad with geography. Alright, so we're going to stitch across. I'm going to go back to a 3-ish inch, or 3-ish millimeter stitch length. And my pins are out of the way because we don't want to run them over. And I am going to go back and forth a little bit. It was a big cramp Huh? Oh, we have the other cat up here now, too. See, everybody's coming up here. They're bored. This cat's weird. Look, I'll turn it around. There's the third cat. Meow.
No, that's good.
Our helpers. You know, everybody's there. 5 minutes. You live 5 minutes from a really cool campground? I like campgrounds. Alright. Next. What's the weather like right now, Laura? Maybe not like right this. Thank you. It is so awesome. Hold on. Oh, I just got some bobbin issues. So, yeah, my helpers. So, when we bought this house, we had to have a studio for me. And this just happened to be a really cool room. It's in the front. It's above the garage. And oh my gosh, that's nasty. I'm in North Florida, Northeast Florida. And I can't find the hole. We were in the 80s today with like low humidity. It's awesome. That is not in right. I tell people that it was hotter in Virginia than it is down here. I am totally stuck on something. It's gonna make me have to. Oh, I got a knot. I tell people that Virginia is hotter than Florida. The parts that we've been to. There we go. Let's try it again. Things I missed on, but. Of course it's gonna act up now. I'm going to switch bobbins. Uh-oh, down the last one. New Jersey, 90. Yeah. I mean, the past couple days here, granted, we've had some really hot and humid days. But probably the past 3 or 4 days, it's been low heat. Why am I having issues? It's been low temperatures for summertime, and really low humidity. But we live not very far from the ocean, so we get that ocean breeze pretty much all the time. All right, let's see if this will work now. Laura, the video will stay, and I'm going to stop once I get done with the inside, or when done with the outside, and I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow or Sunday. And do the lining. It takes a lot longer to sew when you're talking. But I feel like it's a better, you know, than just doing a tutorial. I feel like I can answer questions better and stuff like that. Alright, so now I'm pulling out my pens because we don't need them anymore. It says, do not cut your corners off yet. Alright. I don't need that page. Oh, yuck. Yeah, if we go to the beach and as long as we have shade, it's beautiful. Like, you can sit out there most of the day, and as long as you got water and shade, you are good to go. Okay, so now we need our Peltex and interfaced base. Turn your bag so that the wrong side of the bag bottom is facing you. Wrong. Oh, you're welcome, Connie. Thank you for joining. All right, I'm getting the bag bottom. Ow, sorry. So this is made, it's, I use decor bond, but there's Peltex, and then you do your interfacing, and it folds over, and you leave a ½ inch on each side, per the pattern. It's really cool. Oh, thank you, Laura. And you're welcome. It was good chatting with y'all. So, the Peltex goes about 1/8 inch below the stitch line. So, like that. And probably needs to be straight. Okay. We're going to do it like this. Flatten that sucker out. I should get some tape. You know, that painter's tape that does well for everything?
Blue tape?
Yeah. There. Okay. So I've clipped it within my seam allowance-ish. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and sew it. It looks good. Looks straight. You're supposed to turn it over. I'm going to skip that. We're going to... This is kind of thick, so this really does make it easier with an industrial. But not necessary because I didn't use an industrial on the previous ones. Flip that over. And so. I swear these pattern designers have to be an engineer to be able to design these bags so well and make it so easy for us. Alright, so you just kind of stitch that down within the seam allowance of the triangle. And then next page. Yep, stitch 1/4 inch from the Peltex. Trim corners off, level with your bag base interfacing. Here's my scissors. We're going to go from this side. And I'm going to trim that off too. So we trimmed off a corner. Where's the other side? There it is. I'm going to go. Alright, we're going to flip it right side out. And hope it worked. Because you're supposed to test it prior to stitching. But, you know, sometimes just gotta fly by the seat of your pants. And see, had I flipped it, I would have made it a little bit tighter. But I don't remember which side we said was the front and which side we said was the back.
What side did you put the chalk mark on?
Both.
Okay.
Alright. Front. Ta-da! We have an exterior. So I'm going to stop with that tonight before I royally mess things up. I will let y'all know before I do the lining. It will... I might do it Sunday afternoon since that's when other people said that they could watch. And we'll go with that. And hopefully by then they can, if they want to watch the exterior, they can have watched it by then and be caught up. Or I can do it during the week sometime. I'm free until Thursday. We go to get our kids Thursday afternoon. So, here's the outside. It's not perfect, but it's gonna work. Thank you, Barbara. I hope it was okay. It's my first one, so they'll get better.
Sunday.
I don't. Good night. I'm going to bed. I am not a late night girl. I'm an early get upper. So, but this is really cool. I really like this part. You're welcome, Kathy. And I hope y'all will be around when I do it again. It was awesome having people to talk to. And thanks for watching. It is big. I'm like, but it's not too big to carry. So I have a planner, like a paper planner, like it's plum paper, and it's really amazing. So it holds that in one side. It holds my wallet. It holds my zipper pouches, my keys. So like you could fit a Bible in it. What else? I have packed a lot of stuff in it. And, you know, you can customize these outside pockets to fit whatever you want in them. I have...
Your Kindle?
Yeah, like my Kindle fits in it. I have done notebooks. I mean, it holds a lot, but it's not huge. So it kind of is comfortable to wear. So hopefully we'll get it finished. It's cuter sewn up than I thought it was going to be. This one wasn't one of my favorite ones. But, so I'm going to get going, eat some dinner because it's late and dark. and my brownie's still sitting over here. So thanks for joining me. I'll try to answer any questions that people have throughout the video in the comments as they come up. And I think the inside is really not going to be that hard. Maybe an hour. And we'll...
Plus conversation.
Yeah. So, good night. Thanks for watching.